Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for the 22nd of March. We'll look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yeah, I'll just leave it at those because we've got enough problems with this particular account. So one of the first things I want to point out here is this is Bitcoin on the monthly chart. And for a trend to be a trend, it needs increasing volume in the direction that it's going, be that up or be it down. So we're seeing this trend to the upside here. And there's some things that we need to sort of understand is we've got this large volume here that pushed it up and came back down here. So there's obviously profit taking coming into that space there, or no buyers within that space. But what's interesting for me is that these last two bars here, and it's only the 22nd today, so we've still got a bit more time to go for the month. But we had this strong move here, and we had decreasing volume here, and we need to see how this volume bar goes. And also too, if we look on the, so that's basically divergence developing there. So we need to just be a little bit mindful of that. The other thing that we can also look at as well is that when we look at the ranges of things, so say this range here is quite long. This one here is is quite long as well. And this one here, depending on how you want to view this, is also a bit short as well. And you can also see down the bottom down here is that the volume, while this has been pushing up, the volume's basically decreasing from here. So in a way, we're getting decreasing volume and we're getting shorter ranges within our trends. So that's normally a good indication that the trend is lacking in volume in buyers. So it's, because the trend gets to a certain point and it starts creeping to the upside. And what I mean by creeping is that you see how we got this low here, which is just above this one here. Then if we do push up here further, then we get a correction. Will it break this previous top? So as trends get to the top, they start creeping, the ranges get shorter and the volume diminishes. And it's kind of what we're seeing in a way a little bit here. It's not to confirm that yet because we don't know what this trend here is going to be. And this is what we also need to talk about today as well. But that decreasing volume to the upside is one of the first things that I wanted to point out today. I don't need that charting program for a moment. Coming back to this one here, in a bit of a nutshell, there's a couple of things that can still happen here. This wave 4 that I've got here, as I mentioned before, it also concerns me because it's rather small compared to the one lesser degree where it should be larger. So there's still a case for this to pull down to these levels before pushing up here. But I want to present a bit of a different case today where we're going into more of a bullish pattern, but we still need to come down a little bit further here before pushing to the upside here. So between Ethereum and Bitcoin, we'll take a look at these pictures. And I want to start with Ethereum first because of the structure. So what I want to point out here first is with Ethereum here, if we just for a moment consider that we've got wave 3 in play here and we've got our A, B and C and we're finished here, it can be counted as 1 and 2 here, and I have pulled all this apart here for wave 3, 4 and 5 here. So there's a really good case that we've got an impulse wave to the upside. Now, if that's the case, then we get a simple A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave down here in 5 waves coming into this space here. If we were looking, if I can just chat for a moment, if we were looking for wave 4 to be over here and this is an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down here, then we would need to look at this as down for 1 here and back for 2 here and then coming down for 3, 4 and 5. And the reason I don't like that at this particular point in time is because of the size of this correction here. If that was going to be a wave 2 here, then this correction should be much smaller. compared to this 5-wave move here. I'm still sticking with my 5 waves here. And that was the thing that haunted me right from the get-go. So yeah, but because the size of this here, it's also more related to being a B wave rather than a wave 2. If it was just an A and a B and a C wave to this point here, then you see how that's like 40% of that 60% there. So it's got the right sort of look and feel about it at that point, but it just expanded on itself and became more complicated. So it's more likely to be a B wave, and if that's the case, then we're likely to see this move down here as wave 1 here, wave 2 coming back here, wave 3, 4 and 5 here for this, and then moving up in this direction here. So that's kind of my count at this stage for this market. So I've been over, all of these moves here on a tick chart level and so on. Not on that one, but just if I stay here for a moment, we can take a closer look at this here. So I was merging from the B wave to the wave 1. Now I'll just leave that there for the moment. But as you know, when I spoke last time, we had that really clear 5 waves here. So that's the one that sort of haunted me, and I wasn't sure if it's wave 1 or wave A here for this. And then we've got the ABC here for this, but then it just expanded on itself again. So I have to look at this as the A, the B, and the C here, and then the ABC for the B wave, and a nice C wave here for that B wave there. So it's more likely to be the B wave at that point. And then, as you can see here, this looks pretty straight down here, doesn't it, as an impulse wave. I haven't pulled that apart as a corrective wave yet, but that's the 61.8%. So in a way, we don't really want to see the market, move above this top here, above that level there. Obviously, if the market moves up into this space, takes this top out here, well, then we'll need to look at this as a C wave down here, but it's a little bit short for that. But I'm just leaving that green one there because we'd need to be long at that point within all of that. But otherwise, everything's said and done here. We can, and Bitcoin's a bit strange with this one here. With Bitcoin, you could probably actually count 5 waves up here for wave 1, an A and a B and a C, and come back here for that and then move up from that point. But Ethereum's not showing that, and we can see that we've got overlapping wave structures here with this low here and that high here, and now this low here and these highs here. So this is really, a really corrective pattern at that, at this stage, where Bitcoin is a bit more chirpy. But down here for 1, back here for 2, I haven't pulled that apart in here just yet, but then we would come down for wave 3, 4 and 5, which would be 3, 4 and 5 coming into this space down here for this. So that's not too long to wait, and creates a really nice buying opportunity in this space for this market. So that's what I'm thinking at this point. If you wanted to short that, that's sort of okay-ish, I guess, but as long as you know where you are. Shorting down to the 1650 would be the thing to do, rather than try to squeeze it out here, because the 1650 is a medium level, and we're going to see the market bounce from that point. The next level up, of course, is the 18, and we can see that that's really quite a nice balance point for all this head and shoulder stuff going on here for that. So that's what I'm thinking, guys. I'm thinking, and girls, I'm thinking like wave 1 up here, an A and a B and a C wave here for this. It could come down, much further, as I mentioned, but that's how it's looking at this stage. So that means that, with Bitcoin here, it's a matter of like, well, that move up there, do we count that as wave 1? Like we do with Ethereum here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and then an an A and a B and a C. Do we do the same thing as that? So I think we can have a look at that. I mean, at the moment, it looks quite nice for an A wave and a B wave and a C wave up here for that. But I don't know if you remember, but I had a lot of trouble counting in this space here for this. I think I've resolved it. But yeah, I mean, the other thing too is that, just for a moment here, if we do look at this, just copy this, if we do look at that as the same as Ethereum is up for wave 1 there, and back for wave 2, very close to the 50,000 would be about the 61.8% mark. And then wave 3, well, if that's wave 1 here and that's 2 here, well, wave 3 is going to take us up here, isn't it? And then copy this for wave 4 in here, and wave 5, copy that up here. That really leaves us quite a long way up here, doesn't it, for that 5th wave of wave 3 there, and then wave 4 over here. I'm just looking at it in that regard. So yeah, so we've got a couple of things to work through. Based on Ethereum, we should be moving lower at that point. And that goes for the crypto index as well. This crypto index here is the top 10, I think. But the main point here I want to show is that this is just a 4-hour chart, is this low here. We could count that up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but it's got overlapping wave structures with that low and this high here. So there's a very clear overlap there, and we do have a nice impulse wave here. So yeah, in this case too, we should be looking at further lows in that space like that for this market. So let's just go in and have a look at this a bit closer in here for this. So on the 4-hour chart, this is where we've got our bigger move to the downside here. This is the one that I talked about at the end of last week, and it sort of played on my mind a little bit. I had a little bit of trouble within this structure here. It's okay to call that the 3rd wave here, an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here for wave 4. Doesn't count very nicely as a wave 4 to that point there, so it'd probably be an A, B, C, D and E in there, but then it churns up part of that. So there's still a problem in here counting it in this way here. So what I've done, first of all, I just want to be aware of this situation. You know, I can't rule it out, put it that way. So from this low here to that high there, the 50-60% is down here for that, right on the 50,000. So we're going to get a nice bounce there anyway. So that's going to be, you know, that's going to be a brick wall there at that point. So there's going to be, so it may just come down to 51,000, you know, all that sort of stuff. But it does appear that we can look at this as 1 and 2 here, and you know, nice 3rd, 4th and 5th. So it may just come down something like that there for that, and then go up from that point. And we'll be able to figure that out as that happens. But we still need to be mindful of 1 and 2 here, and you know, 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So we'll see what structure that we get in this particular move here. But the more bullish count in line with ETH is this count here. So looking at wave 4 here, I'll just go over this a little bit because I had struggled with it a bit. And all of this here counts wave 1 to here. I know that some other folks have got wave 1 here, but when you pull it apart on a tick chart, it's fine having wave 1 here and 2 here. Okay, so in this case here, we can look at wave 1 here and wave 2 here. And then for the 3rd wave here, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the 3rd of the 3rd. And that seems correct to me because that's where the most powerful point in the structure was, just here. So that would be wave 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 in here. So that really moves strongly in that move there. We don't need these trades in here anymore. So I'll just clean these up here. We got stopped out, but made some pocket money. I didn't trade it. So I mean, for me, I've accumulated a lot down here, and I was waiting for this to play up here and then pull back. So I haven't put any in this trend here, but I will be building in over here for this. But like I said, I'm not trading it. So this move up through here can be counted as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here for the third wave, fourth wave and the fifth wave. And the fifth wave is good because the extension's in the third wave here, and that would leave wave 1 here and wave 5 roughly the same. And then in this case here, it is a corrective move here. My only problem with this is that it's a bit simple for wave 4 and a bit small. But in a way, it kind of pulled back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, so that's good, and sort of counts for itself. And then it also leaves me 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it seems to tie it all in quite nicely. So I'm happy with that. And then, as you know, the 5 waves down here, that haunted me somewhat. So I was looking for an A and a B and C back up for wave 2, but this is... You see the size of this thing here? You know, that compared to this here, where wave 2s are normally sort of 20% to 40% the time alone of wave 1 here for that. But because it's so big and ugly, it has to be not an ABC, it has to be like more like a B wave here for this. So that's how I've sort of tied it in here. So I would be correct with this count and having this down as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, if we made a new low here, of course. But there is a case, you know, which I was looking at. Well, Pete, couldn't you count this up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 and back for wave 2 here and up for wave 3 here and back for wave 4 here and up for wave 5 here to make wave 1 here? And then have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave back here for wave 2, and then we just go straight up from here. Well, yeah, we can, but the problem with that is twofold. First of all, we've got this 5-wave structure here. So that's one. Second is that this is, oh no, second, that's okay. The other second is, well, Ethereum would be doing the same thing, wouldn't it? So Ethereum, when we look at it here in 1 hour, say, how do we count 5 waves up here for this? You know, do we go 1, 2, 3, 4, overlap here, 5 here, then the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here for that? That's possible. But it's pretty, you know, I think, you know, you're pushing the envelope a little bit, you know. But still, we've got to we don't want to, it's not really a matter of being right or wrong, it's about making money. So that's why we'll go long above that top. Tomorrow I'll put out another video, of course, and we'll just see how this develops, because that looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, doesn't it? So it looks like we haven't hit the 61.8%, so we can push up here, up into the supply zone, and then come down from that point. If that's the case, if we do push up there, by the way, then you can bring that short position up to that at that point, because that shouldn't be breached again. We can just go in there and have a look at that little move in there if you like. Let's just check it out. Oh, it doesn't even look like it's finished going down yet, sorry. So that's 1, 2, this is 20 ticks, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this is just a 4th wave here. So if I've got that right, I'll go back and check. So wave 5 to come down, and then the ABC pattern here. I've better go back and check that. So that would leave... It's close to the 38.2, but anyway, just keep a bit of an eye on that. But I'll just go back and check. Where were we on the... Oh no, I was just looking inside of that, wasn't I? Got to go back further, back to 1750. Sorry about that. $17.50 from that low. Well, while we're here, we can check this. Yeah, that's all good to that point. Oh, it looks like the third wave here, and it looks like 5 waves, and then that's, so we shouldn't really be looking at it like that. So from this low to that high there, that's the 50-60%. So it doesn't need to come down any further. It looks like it wants to though, doesn't it? Anyway, there's a chance that we can get one more push up here for that. But not if we make a new low. If that pushes up from there, we can make that 5 waves there and then roll over from that point. But if it moves down through here, that will give us 5 waves down, and then you'll have a corrective move, and then that will continue down at that point, and then we would need to look at this here as an ABC in some form, and it'll probably be the A wave to here, the B wave to here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Let's just see how that plays out there anyway. Not a big deal at this stage. But anyway, with ETH here, we can see that it's hard to get 5 waves out of this move to the upside here, even to this point here. So that leaves, so I mean with Bitcoin here, it does leave it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, an A and a B and a C here for wave 2 at that point, and then looking at this as wave 1 to the upside, a pullback and moving up. So it could go up, but as I've probably said before, that it was the 58,000 that we're working with, and the 58 is important here, but it's the 60 is really the ceiling at this particular point. And here we nearly had a setup, so we normally wait for the first high above the level, and we can go long above that, and then we can bring it down to the second high on the level here to go long, but it just didn't give us that. Trigger. So that's what you would also need to look for here as well in terms of that classic trading levels pattern sitting here. You may get the number to the second high or you may not, but that would be the safe trade to the upside at that point. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. So what I've done today really is I've just brought in more of a bullish count for the Bitcoin, but also I haven't totally wiped out the possibility of the whole thing up here being a wave B and coming down for a wave C here. So we just got to see how that plays out at the moment. But anyway, the takeaway is long trades with support on 60. Otherwise we're going down, possibly this particular pattern here, but more likely the 1 hour chart here where we've got wave 1 here with an A wave, a B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave here, and then moving up from that point. So yeah, I'll leave it at that, I think. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.